Today, we'll be doing Consumer Protection Part 2. Now, what are we going to learn in this? We will study who can file a complaint and against whom, and discuss the legal machinery that is available to the consumers and the remedies. Now, let us first understand who is a consumer. Now, consumer is anybody who buys goods for a consideration. If you buy goods or services, that is the B part, but you should pay for it. And you either pay or you promise to pay, or you pay in part and some part you will pay later, or you promise to pay on a later date, that is deferred payment. But you should pay for it. There should be some consideration involved. If you get something free, then you're not covered under Consumer Protection Act. And it also includes any consumer who is using the goods with the approval of the buyer. But it does not include anybody who buys goods for resale. Similarly, services also. So anybody who hires services and has paid for it, or has paid partially for it, or has promised to pay at a later date, but there should be consideration involved. And then again, anybody else who is using that service with the approval of the buyer, but it does not include services which are for commercial purposes. This is a consumer for goods as well as services. Now, who can complain? There are only 5 categories of people who can complain under the Consumer Protection Act. You can complain in any court, civil court you can complain, but those who can complain under the Consumer Protection Act are any consumer who buys the goods, any registered consumer association, that is NGO, non-government organizations, they can also file a complaint. The central government or any state government, sometimes the central government or state government also file a complaint against the seller if the goods that are being sold are not good and it is at a national level, and it's called PIL, Public Interest Litigation. Or it could be one or more consumers on behalf of numerous consumers having the same interest. For example, many consumers bought sweets from a sweet shop and then they fell sick. During Diwali, we do buy sweets, and those sweets were contaminated. Something had happened, something had fallen into the sweets, and it all got toxic. Now, most of them are struggling in the hospital, but a few of them are still better. So those people can go and complain on behalf of those who have suffered. Or a legal heir or representative of the deceased consumer. Suppose this person who consumed those sweets, he died. Now he's no longer there, the consumer is no longer there, but his legal representative can take it up in the Consumer Protection Act. So only these 5 categories of people can complain and nobody else. What is the redressal agency we have? We have a 3-tier redressal agency. We have the district forum at the lowest level, then we have the state commission, and then we have the national commission at the top, and above all we have the Supreme Court. Now let's study the district forum. Now, what constitutes a district forum? The district forum has got 1 president and 2 members. This is a jury that sits to decide the various cases. So we have 1 president and 2 members, and one of them should be a woman, because in case there's any case that is coming regarding women, so there has to be a woman on the bench, and they are all appointed by the state government. Now, who can complain? You can complain if the value of goods or services along with compensation, please remember this, along with compensation does not exceed 20 lakhs. So if you're buying some product, the value of which plus the compensation that you're asking should not be for more than 20 lakhs. All these 3 redressal agencies are divided on the basis of the amount of purchases that you have made. So in the district forum, if you have bought goods and you're claiming compensation should not exceed 20 lakhs. Then how do they go about it? First of all, you have to file your complaint. Then they will call the person against whom you have filed the complaint. You could have filed a complaint against the retailer, the wholesaler. So that party against whom you have filed a complaint, they'll call that party and hear them out also. And then if need be, they can send the goods for testing, and then they'll give the verdict. Then the district forum gives the verdict. Now you have a right to appeal against the verdict. If you're not satisfied, let us say the compensation you ask, they're giving you less. So you can appeal. But remember, you have to appeal within 30 days. 30 days, not a day more. So if it is 31 days, you cannot file an appeal. Now you will file an appeal in the next level court, that is the state commission. So you can go to state commission within 30 days of passing of the order and register your complaint. Then comes the state commission. Just like the district forum, state commission is also set up by the state government. It also has one president and two members, and one of them should be a woman. The bench is the same. Now, who can complain and what should be the complaint? Now, you can complain if the goods are above 20 lakhs but does not exceed 1 crore. The value of goods and services plus the compensation claimed. Plus the compensation should be above 20 lakhs but not more than 1 crore. Now, below 20 lakhs, you can go to the district forum. So, between 20 lakhs and 1 crore, you can go to the state commission, and above 1 crore, you go to the national commission. So, you can complain only if the value of goods and services together with the compensation claimed should be above 20 lakhs but less than 1 crore. And also, if you want to appeal against the verdict of the district forum, then again you can appeal here. Now, what does this court do? They do the same as what the district forum did. This is a tip for you to remember that the hearing is going to be the same in all the cases. So again, they will call the other party, the defendant against whom you have complained. They hear him out, hear his viewpoint also. And then if need be, the goods can be sent for testing. And then after all this is done, then only they conclude and they give their result. They will give their verdict. Now, what can you do as a consumer? Now, consumer can appeal against this verdict within 30 days. Remember, 30 days, not a day more. So, within 30 days, the consumer can appeal against this verdict to the National Commission. You can go only to 2 higher courts, and he cannot go to any court higher than the National Commission. So, if the consumer is not satisfied with the verdict of the State Commission, then the consumer can go to the National Commission, but that he has to do within 30 days of passing of the order. Now come to the National Commission. The National Commission is at the national level. So naturally this is set up by the center. And this consists of a president and 4 members. Earlier we had 2 members, 4 members, and one of them should be a woman. It's mandatory to have at least one woman, one member of the bench as a woman, and it is by the central government. Again, the same procedure is done. So if you have a complaint regarding the goods or services bought plus compensation, and the value of this should exceed 1 crore. For example, you've bought a very expensive luxury car. Cars are above 1 crore. Or maybe you bought a house for more than 1 crore and you have some problem. Then you can go to the National Commission and or appeal against the district forum, and the State Commission can also be heard here. Then what does the National Commission do? It does exactly the same that the district forum did and the State Commission did. So first of all, they'll call the other party, the seller. They will hear him out, hear his side of the story, and then if need be, they'll send the goods for sampling, and then they'll give the verdict. Now again, now this is very important. Now, if you're not satisfied with the verdict passed by the National Commission, then only those people who have filed for the first time in the National Commission, that means the product that they bought or service plus compensation exceeded 1 crore, only they can go to the Supreme Court. Appeal against the district forum and the State Commission cannot go to the Supreme Court. That means only the original jurisdiction, originally who could appeal in the National Commission, only they can appeal in the Supreme Court. That means if the goods and services plus compensation exceeds 1 crore, then only you can take it to the Supreme Court, not otherwise. So please remember this because it is very important. Now come to the relief. So we have a number of relief available. Now these reliefs, 5 reliefs that I'm going to tell you, these are available to individual consumers. Now suppose I buy a television and that is defective. Some line is, zigzag line is coming all the time. So I can tell the seller to remove the defect. I like the TV, I want the TV. Maybe it was a gift from somebody. Remove the defect. Then replace. I said, no, I don't want to do anything with that TV. Please replace it. Give me a new model, or the same model, a new piece. Or else I said, I want nothing to do with it. I just want my money back. Sometimes people just don't want that. That has created too much of a problem for me. I just don't want it. So I just want the refund of the entire amount. Or sometimes they ask for compensation. Let us say that TV burst. It has happened. It happens sometimes. The TV gets too hot and it burst, and some pieces hit you, they went into your eye, so you suffered some injury. So you can ask for compensation. Along with the cost, you can ask for compensation also. So you should keep the medical bills with you, because cash receipt has to be there for everything that is a proof for every expenditure you have incurred. So you can ask for compensation, or you can ask for punitive damages. Punitive means just like punishment. Sometimes a court takes that as a case, as a benchmark case, and they penalize the seller very heavily so that others understand. For example, Pepsi Cola was being sold at a very expensive price in one of the eateries selling pizza. So they were overcharging. So the court really slammed them with a huge amount of money to teach them a lesson that whatever price is written on that bottle, it should be charged. And that example is given in your NCERT book also. So these are the reliefs available to individual consumers. Now let us do the other relief, to discontinue the unfair trade practice. Now this is for the seller. Now if the practice is not good, then the seller will be told to discontinue. For example, he's weighing less. Every time he weighs something, especially when you go to buy some eats, हलवाई की दुकान पे जाते हैं तो वो कई बार ना थोड़ा गड़बड़ कर देते हैं. So unfair trade practice, not to offer hazardous goods. During Diwali, we buy sweets, and sometimes the food color that is put is not good. So if you consume food color in a very small quantity, that is not bad. But if you buy it in a large quantity, then that is not good for your health. So not to offer these goods. So the inspectors go on checking, and then they find that the milk that is used is wrong, or खोआ जिसको हम कहते हैं वो गलत है, खराब है. So they will say don't offer those goods. To withdraw hazardous goods from sale. Altogether, they say remove all the goods that you have, not just this particular item that somebody complained. You have to remove all the items of the same type, and to seize manufacturer. Suppose the way they're making it is wrong. Sometimes they're making it and they cover the milk overnight, and then something falls in it. So the method of making it is also wrong. So they will say you have to stop making by that method. They will not allow. And if you're caught, then you will be fined heavily. Or to pay an amount not less than 5% of the value of defective goods or deficient services to Consumer Welfare Fund. So sometimes the court also says that if you are caught doing something wrong, then 5% of the value you have to give it to either the Consumer Welfare Fund or say any such fund as a punitive damage. This the firm or the seller has to do. Then to issue corrective advertisement to replace misleading advertisement. Sometimes some advertisements, they're so misleading. Like a person is drinking a soft drink and he is jumping from building to building and he's catching hold of a robber or something, which is not humanly possible. You can't drink a soft drink and do all that. And somebody might try to ape them. So these are misleading advertisements. So if you've issued any such misleading advertisement, then you have to give a corrective advertisement. But if these advertisements are still coming, is because people don't know about this Consumer Protection Act, and they don't know the relief that is available to them. Now these reliefs are available against the firm. That was for the individual. Earlier I told you the relief available to the individual, and these are the reliefs available against the firm. Now apart from this, there's one more relief available to an individual consumers, that to pay the cost to the appropriate party. Now normally when you fight a case in the Consumer Protection Act, it is free. You don't have to pay. But if you have to engage some lawyers for the time being to pay, then that cost has to be borne by the seller. So if you can press a case against him and prove that he is wrong, then in that case, all your expenses, suppose you are staying in a nearby town and then you have to go to the city every time there's a hearing. So all the going and coming expenditure that you have incurred, maybe you had to stay overnight, all that expenditure has to be borne by the other party. So these are the relief available. Now with that knowledge, let's do the case study. Now let us see what's asked. Can Sonika appeal against the decision of the district forum? Now let us see, when can Sonika appeal? Give reason in support of your answer. So let's study. On Sonika's birthday, her mother gave her a pair of gold earrings. After 1 month, Sonika observed that the earrings were losing their shine. She checked the mark on earrings and found that it was not a proper hallmark and her mother had been cheated by the shopkeeper. So she filed a complaint in the district forum, which rejected it. Not satisfied by the decision of the district forum, after 2 months, she decided to appeal further. Can Sonika appeal against the decision of the district forum? Give reason in support of your answer. I think you've got it. I can see it myself. This is something that I was highlighting all the while. Yes, you got it right. Let me share the answer with you. Yes, here it says 2 months. And I told you, you can appeal within 30 days and not a day more. She took 2 months to go to the next court. The next court will not hear. You have been given a time. 30 days is ample time for you to appeal. So let's check out the answer. No, Sonika cannot appeal against the decision. Why? Because it has to be made within 30 days. Is that clear? So that's all in this video. Thank you.